Hello, everybody. I'm Bruce Geetson, and welcome to Waco ISD TV. And today we've got a very special story to tell you here at Cedar Ridge Elementary. And I've seen some nice fences in my time, but this one is really unique and unusual. And we're going to talk to some of the people involved in putting what we're calling the crayon fence here at this elementary school. And beside me, Helen Smith, the principal, and then we've got Sandy and Charlie Katz here from the Texas Master Gardener Club. And I'm going to start out talking with Sandy here. Tell me a little bit about how this fence came about, Sandy.
Well, it was such a fun, just a casual conversation. I was standing out in the garden with Mrs. Smith, and she told me that she just had this vision of the back gate looking like a box of crayons. And it so happened that we were fortunate enough to have a grant from Lowe's, and which was a blessing to have those funds available. I took it home, their idea home, to my husband, who can do absolutely anything. And I said, Mrs. Smith wants the gate to look like a box of crayons. Well, his mind started working, and lo and behold, we not only have a gate, but we have a whole entire fence of a box of crayons. And I give the credit to him for cutting it out, getting it started, but to our entire organization who pitched in and painted and stenciled and helped construct the fence and put it all together. So it was a fun project. We enjoyed it.
Okay, and I'll come back to you with some more questions, but let's talk to the man of the hour here. You put this fence together. You had a little help, right? How many people were helping you?
Probably 8 to 10.
8 to 10?
Yeah.
But it was your design, and your baby from the get-go. She says you can do anything, so you were on the spot.
Yeah, I can do almost anything. Well, the key word was my mind started working. It doesn't always work, but it just happened to start working that day.
Okay. And she came to you with this idea of a crayon fence. What was your first thought?
The idea was a crayon gate, but I've seen this garden quite a few times. I've been over here with her. I'm not a master gardener, by the way. I just help her some.
Okay.
But I've seen the gate several times and the fence, and it was so ugly. I said, we're going to put a pretty fence right in the middle of this ugly fence, so let's just do it all. So
Okay.
I just thought it'd be a good idea to just do the whole thing, and we did have the grant, so we spent a little bit of the money and was able to get it up.
Okay. Well, so tell me about the steps involved in creating the fence and making it.
The first step was to procure the materials, which was time consuming, but once I got that, we got all the pickets, about 150 of them, and one day I just set out and started cutting them out, and I cut all of them out and stacked them up in the garage, and then started yelling for help. And we got the master gardeners, like I said, the 8 to 10 people we were talking about came over, and we started painting, and we started painting one color at a time, and eventually people like Louis took home a whole set and painted all the orange ones. Nelda took home quite a few of them, started doing stenciling, but the stenciling and the little black lines and the black stripes and the black center part, that took a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
So how many colors are there?
there are 7 colors plus the black,
Okay.
8 total.
Okay. And who got to paint all the stencil to say Cedar Ridge on each crayon?
I painted quite a few of them, and Nelda took a lot of them home, and Nelda painted quite a few of them. At least, I think she had at least 50 of them.
Okay.
And we had Debbie help me with quite a few, and I did quite a few by myself.
Okay. All in all, how long did it take?
Over a period of about 3 weeks.
Okay.
Off and on, it was not solid 3 weeks working, but I can't estimate hours. I worked when I had time.
Okay. Was it a labor of love?
Well,
She said you do it. So
it's love.
Okay.
That's what it's for.
Okay. Good. And so, are you happy with how it turned out?
I think it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I cannot wait for the children to see it when school starts. I think they'll be excited.
Okay. They're getting a sneak.
Even when nothing's blooming out here, we still have color.
Okay. So we'll give them a sneak preview here. I'm going to talk with Helen Smith now, the principal. Helen, what do you think of the fence?
I'm just so excited and thrilled. They went above and beyond what, I just suggested to them.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting a gate, and then I ended up with this wonderful fence. And, Cedar Ridge is such a great place to be. And I have two of my favorite days during every month is master gardeners come over and they get everything prepped for the day that they work with our students, and you hear lots of laughter and fun going on out here amongst the adults. But then the day that they come and work with the students once a month is always wonderful too, and our students look forward to that. And rain or shine, master gardeners are always here.
Good. And how often do they come?
They work once a month with
Okay.
our students,
Okay.
but that doesn't include the time that they spend out here in the garden area.
Okay. Now, there's a story behind this story. How did you first get the idea for the crayon fish?
Well, I have a fellow principal that texted me and said, well, this would look great out in your garden area. And of course, it's from Pinterest. And so I went and looked on Pinterest and started looking. And then one day, just really in passing, I said something to Sandy, and it was like, isn't this a cute picture? And the next thing I know, here we are.
Lo and behold, you got a whole new fence around here in the
Yes,
garden.
right.
And plus, we talked a little bit about the garden, and we'll ask them about that more in a second. But this is a fantastic garden and a great learning opportunity for your kids.
Yes, it is. We have students that don't have the opportunity to grow plants oftentimes, and just the concept of you can grow your own food and take it home and prepare it. That's just a wonderful thing for them to understand, because we have so many students that think we go to the grocery store and get our food, and they don't understand the importance of having fresh food for your table.
Now, if they grow it, will they eat it no matter what it is, even broccoli?
Well, no, not always, but yes, they do.
Most of
Yeah,
it, right?
I think as someone said earlier, ranch makes everything great. But it is amazing the number of students that love to eat salads and broccoli and just the fresh food that they learn about from out here in the garden.
This is a real bonus to the education
it
process,
is.
isn't it?
It's wonderful, and it's definitely hands-on.
Okay. I want to go back now to talk to Sandy a little bit about the garden and what they do here. These master gardeners, we'll talk to some of them in a moment, but you've got over 150 of them soon to be certified, and this is a big deal to you guys.
This is our baby, and this garden was born in 2005, and these people who you're going to talk to in a minute help plant these things. They help prune them, take care of them, and it's just been a labor of love. This was a virtual weed patch before we started. All that was out here was just the tree in the center, not even the concrete, and so it's just evolved over time. And we just, as Mrs. Smith said, we come out here and we laugh and we work and we play together, and it's just a fun thing.
Is it fun seeing the kids' eyes light up when they see?
Absolutely. They come out here and they'll say, I remember when we popped popcorn, or I remember when I planted that seed. And always the biggest plant is the one that they planted. They'll look for whichever one is the biggest and say, that's the one I planted.
And you told me a story a little while ago about a sunflower. Tell us that story.
Oh, we had some summer school children come out not too long ago, and they were just kind of helping do a few things. And one little boy remembered that he had planted a seed over here, but he hadn't seen it in a couple of weeks. And he walked out here and looked, and he said, when did that happen? It was the cutest thing, as if it was Jack and the Beanstalk.
It's a great part of the education.
It is. It is.
And what kind of plants do we have here in the garden, real
We
quick?
typically grow lots of vegetables. We try to do herbs over here in this area. The children have their own grade level garden. We have a kindergarten bed and a first grade bed and second and so on. And we try to let them taste what they grow. We've even started letting them pull weeds and help thin things out after they seed. One of my favorite things as a retired school teacher is you bring children out here who maybe are a failure in the classroom. They can't seem to pass math, or they can't seem to pass reading, but they can plant a seed, and lo and behold, it's a huge plant. And they feel successful. They feel like they did something. They have a sense of pride. And that's what I love about gardening with children.
Okay. And how important was Lowe's to this process?
We couldn't have done many of the things you're seeing today without Lowe's providing this grant for us. We were able to not only do the fence, but we have flower pots and birdhouses and wind chimes and flags and plants and bird baths and benches and just so many. We were able to really stretch the money really far.
They're a great community partner.
100 bags of mulch. Yes, a wonderful community partner.
Okay.
We're very grateful for the grant.
Great. We're talking about Texas Master Gardeners. So what we're going to do now, some of them are standing back here. We're going to walk back and talk to some of them as well. What I'm going to ask you is your name and tell me why you're involved in this. And your name is?
Barbara Beats.
They named a vegetable after you.
Well, maybe. I don't think I'm quite that old.
They named you after the vegetable.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So you are a master gardener, McLennan County. And why are you involved in this garden?
Well, I have a friend who is a master gardener, and she talked about it a lot and invited me to come in 2014 to be an intern that year. And I did. And then I was looking for a place where I thought I would fit in the best for volunteering and tried several places. This school won.
The school won. This
The
was
school
one of your
won.
top projects, right?
Yes, it is.
And how do you feel when the kids come out and you see their look in their eyes?
Well, sometimes by the end of the day, you wonder how many more are there?
How many more kids are there?
Yeah. But it's really good to see them get excited about the things that we try to teach them. And some of them do really want to learn a lot.
Yeah. There's 630 students here at Cedar Ridge, so that's a lot of folks who can
That's
learn
a
about
lot.
gardening. All right, let's go to the next guy here. What's your name, sir?
Ralph Calhoun,
Ralph Calhoun. How long have you been a master gardener?
going on 2 years.
Good for you. And you were involved in this project?
Yes, I was.
Okay. What part did you play in it?
Whatever they wanted me to do, I just grab a hold of a tool and get busy.
I've got some yard work you can help me with. So.
Yeah, but I really enjoy it. I grew up in a small Texas town, grew up on a farm and a ranch, and this is just, all of this is kind of carryover of that. Yeah, just a continuation. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Great people to work with.
It is a labor of love, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, it sure is.
Okay, very good. And then next in line, you are?
I'm Jeanette Kelly.
Jeanette Kelly, okay.
Been a master gardener since 2004, and this was our project. Sandy and I was with them when this project began, and I've been with it ever since. And it's a wonderful school, wonderful kids, and by the end of the day, when you think that you're all spent and just tired, they will come up and give you a hug, or they will recognize you the next month that you come out, or the next month, and it just makes it all worthwhile. It's just really a wonderful project, wonderful school, wonderful kids, wonderful teachers.
Do you have a favorite story, not to put you on the spot, but about the kids being in the garden? I'll let you think about it, and I'll come back and ask you. How's that, okay? Yes. And if you're wearing the right name tag, you are Louis McDaniel.
Yes, sir, I am.
And how long have you been a master gardener?
10 years now.
Good for you.
Working on this project for 10 years. And getting back to your grant money that they was talking about, it's kind of ironic how that came about. We had a project over at University High School that we worked on, and the lowest grant was for that school, but because of problems that fell apart. So the principal here heard about that money and wanted to know if we could get it transferred over here. And through her efforts and some master gardener efforts, they were able to go through the grant guy here at the Waco ISD and get the money transferred to this garden to make this possible. So that was great.
So the three driving forces behind the gardener and the fence, behind the garden and the fence, were the master gardeners, the principal Helen Smith, and then of course Lowe's.
That's it. That made a big difference.
Okay, very good.
You bet.
And you're a brave guy wearing long sleeves in this kind of heat and humidity. Thank you so much. I knew you were going to say that somehow. All right, and ma'am, you are?
Nelda Cooper.
Nelda, and how long have you been a master gardener?
10 years this year.
Good for
I was
you.
in Louis' class.
Good for you. Some veteran gardeners here, and I say that fondly. Not okay. So what's the key thing with this garden for you?
Oh, I think it's the children. Most of the children are from the city, and maybe they haven't had the opportunity to garden. And I grew up in the country and gardened with my grandmother and helped her pick peas in the summer and shuck corn, and loved it. And so this gives the children an opportunity to see where the food comes from, and learn about nutrition. We try to tie that into.
Okay. Brings back some good memories for you.
It does.
Imagine.
It does.
Yeah, very good. Okay, and we've got one more here, Debbie Hopkins Higham.
Yes, Debbie
Okay.
Hopkins Hyam, yes.
Hyam, okay.
Hyam, that's
I
okay.
apologize. So how long have you been a Master Gardener?
I've been a Master Gardener for 2 years,
Okay.
and I started at this school. It was one of my favorite places to go because it's also a PDS school for Tarleton, and so I have another connection there. And I absolutely love the different stations that we do because we have the children in the gazebo learning there, we have the children learning over at the picnic table doing projects there, and then we also have them working in the raised beds. So they actually get a lot of hands-on experience when they're out here, and it's so much fun to see them, how excited they are.
How much time do the gardeners spend out here actually working with the kids?
Working with kids, we spend all day. So we come at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we usually leave at 3:30 on that particular day.
Every month.
Every month, and we do a kindergarten class, a first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade. So we see a portion of each one of those grade levels each month, and we usually see each grade level or each set of children twice in the year. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Very good. Has anybody had any children or grandchildren here that gone to school here? The garden? No, you're just doing it because you love gardening and you love the school, right? Before I talk to the principal one more time, did you come up with a story? A favorite story?
Well, we had the veggie van visit one time, and the kids were really very reluctant to go taste the fresh veggies. They were not really excited about it, but they went out and they tasted the veggies, and they got so excited about that this really tastes good. Let me try that. And then when they finished that station and had to go on to another one, they would run back and sneak another little piece of broccoli or something and then take it with them. So that's a good story, and it's funny, and I remember that. So that's
I've never heard a story about a kid sneaking a piece of broccoli.
Well, they will.
They will?
Once it's out in the yard and you've got this cool veggie van up there, they'll come take it and go with it. Yeah.
You guys are trailblazers if you can get a kid to do that, right? Very good. Well, Helen, you've got quite a group here, and you're very fortunate to have the fence and the garden and all these people helping.
I sure do, and again, I want to thank Lowe's for providing us the opportunity to do that, and for the Master Gardeners for taking a simple idea and running with it. It's just wonderful.
All right, very good. Here at Waco ISD, kids learn in the classroom, but they also learn practical things out here in gardens and some projects. The fence looks great, Charlie. You and all your guys, you did a wonderful job with it, and they get a round of applause. There you go. And that's our story here from Cedar Ridge Elementary, Waco ISD. Learners today and leaders tomorrow.